There is a popular saying in the business world. There is only one boss and he is customer. Yes, it is true. Any company's sales growth will depend on the customer's views and opinions on that company. In order to build a trustworthy bond between customer and the company, it is essential to analyze and estimate the response of the customers and their pulse on timely basis. Have you ever wondered how to analyze customer opinions and feedbacks in order to plan for the future projects of a company? Hi, I'm YOGESWAR, an upcoming TCS. I bagged a ninja post through TCS Code Vita Season 9. Currently, I'm in final year of graduation in the stream of Electronics and Communication Engineering from EITS Rajampet. This is my third time as been engaging with TCS through a contest. For this time, for TCS INFRAMINDS Season 4, I came up with a code for enterprise CI model where I prepared an algorithm in order to analyze the customer sentiments and give a timely reply for them and also store the whole data in Firebase for the future reference purpose. So, without any delay, let me take you to my coding work. Finally, here is the more sweetest part of my solution. In this program, I code for searching tweets from Twitter on a specific topic or product, and from that tweet, the sentiment can be estimated. After listening this, you might have thought about another Twitter sentiment analysis. No, this code is much more beyond that. Still, I do remember the instructions given by Anita ma'am and Atul sir in the webinar. Later, I decided to make it clear what new I'm bringing to the table. Here in this, I automated my code also to provide solutions to the customers in the form of replying to that particular post by analyzing it. And the whole act will be recorded in the Firebase for future reference purpose. Well, before explaining the code, let me show you a live demo. Currently, I'm in my personal Twitter account. These are my recent tweets which I have posted. And this was a very recent tweet. Now, what I'm gonna do was, I do copy this tweet and I just ask my Python code to search for this tweet in Twitter. After getting that particular tweet, I just want my code to analyze the sentiment of that particular tweet, and based upon the sentiment analysis, I just want it to give particular reply. So now currently I'm in my code and I just running this and it's asking me what should I look for. So I just paste the tweet which I want my code to look for. And now it's asking me how many tweets to consider. So I do give it to consider just one tweet, and it's been searching in Twitter. Now it got the results. So this is my user ID Thota Yogeshwar, and this is my tweet which has been posted through Twitter. And now here it is giving the details when and what time that's been posted in Twitter. And this portion it's giving the compound results. What is the sentiment analysis of this and the sentiment intensity of this particular tweet? It is showing this was a neutral one. So now what I'm gonna do was I just ask my code to post replies for neutral tweets, and here it goes, successfully replied to this tweet. And to my particular tweet, and my code has tweeted, we look forward to serve you again, this particular message. So now I will show you this particular reply in my Twitter account. So we are back to my Twitter account. Currently there are no comments in this thread. I do refresh the page. It do take some time for refreshing. So here we got, there is a one particular comment. I just do expand the thread. So here we go. We look forward to serve you again. This is what the particular message which my code has been tweeted. So also what I did was this whole data, I mean whatever the tweets I have tweeted are being stored into the Firebase. So now I just open the Firebase console. So this one was the recent tweet. It has been generated a particular ID for this data. And what I do was I just expand the ID. So here it is, the customer name, that is my ID, Twitter ID, and my tweet which has been searched for, and also which for which I gave a reply. and this is the given reply. We look forward to serve you again. So the reply particular data is this one particular date and time. And in order to find the sentiment analysis, I do expand this sentiment of the tweet. So it is showing the same sentiment, that is neutral one. And that's it. Now, without any delay, let's deep dive into the code. Here are the libraries from Python which I use for this particular code, and I just imported a Firebase library in order to store the data for which tweets has been sent the reply, and has been imported the Python library. So this particular library helps us to search into the Twitter and takes out the data, that is the data which we got here, like user ID and their particular post, and also at what particular date and time they just posted in the Twitter. So for that particulars, we do use Python library. And weather sentiment libraries. So what does this weather sentiment library do was, it do analyze the statement, that means it do analyze this particular post, and it generate a compound analysis, compound intensity of this particular tweet, whether it is a neutral one or whether it is a negative tweet or whether it is considered to be as a positive one. So for that particular reason, we do use weather sentiment analysis. So in real time, in order to analyze the customers feedback, we do require this weather sentiment analysis. That means that whether the feedback is positive or negative, or it can be considered to be as neutral. And I just use random library. So Twitter doesn't allow any user to post a one single message continuously using the IPs. So in order to avoid the confusion for Twitter that I am not doing any spam, I used the random concept, and I just posting the tweets randomly from a set of messages. And I just imported RE library in order to remove the hashtags and the unnecessary text from the tweets. So now, in order to use the Firebase for storing and getting the data, fetching the data, I just created the Firebase real-time database for this project, and it automatically generates this particular ID link, which I have to use in order to write in that particular real-time database. So this one is for that. And here the customer key, customer secret key, access token secret key, these are something Twitter do provide in order to get into that API. So with these particular keys, we can enter into the Twitter APIs. So here, in order to give the replies, what I have to make sure was, after analyzing the sentiment, if the rest after analyzing the sentiment for positive type of tweets, I do send a particular set of messages. I do send a single message from a particular set of messages. And also for negative type of tweet, I want my code to send a particular type of replies from this set of messages. So I just made this for positives, negatives, and also the same for neutral. So based upon the Twitter sentiment, it do send the replies accordingly. And now this particular section of code do analyze the sentiment of the tweets and just differentiate them, whether it is a positive one, negative one, or a neutral one, based upon the compound value of that particular tweet. If it is a compound value of the particular tweet is greater than or equal to 0, then it is considered to be as a positive tweet, and if it is less than 0.05 minus 0.05, it's considered to be as negative tweet, and if not, it's considered to be as neutral. By this, we can differentiate whether a tweet is a positive one, negative one, or neutral one based upon the polarity scores. And here, after finding the polarity of the particular tweet, for giving a replies to some set of tweets, that means if I want to give reply only for positive tweets or only for negative tweets, or in the same way if you want to send replies only for the neutral tweets. I do here ask, if you want to reply for positive tweets, type POS. If you want to tweet for negative tweets, type NEG. If you want to tweet for neutral posts, type NEU. So here in the example which I shown, I just typed NEU since my post was neutral one. It's been taken the random message from the neutral set of messages which has been posted earlier. So here I have given some random set of messages, and from this set of messages, by using the random library, my Python code had picked one particular message to give the response for that particular tweet. Now here, this particular function of code, what it do was it do just clean text from the tweets. That means when we are considering the sentiment analysis, we don't want our text containing mentions with at the rate of symbols and hashtags, also hyperlinks. Why? Because these do disturb our sentiment analysis. To just consider to just analyze the statement and do provide whether the statement is positive or negative or neutral one. So for that particular reason, I'm declaring this function and I just removing all the mentions, hashtags and hyperlinks from that tweet. And finally, in order to store the responses which I have tweeted and which I was searching for, here I'm creating another definition uh, for storing the data in Firebase. So in this same manner, that means the custom name and the custom tweet and also the tweet date, a reply given and the sentiment of the tweet, all this will be stored uh, all this will be stored in the Firebase console which I have shown before. So here it is, the custom name. It's been after expanding the very recent updated Firebase ID. So here it is showing the custom name. That means the customer name for which has been tweeted for and for what particular tweet has been replied. And this is the exact reply which I given from my Python code on the sentiment analysis and the details of the tweet. I mean when they has been posted from that particular account. So they has been stored in the Firebase. This is used for the future reference purpose. Why? Because in a corporate world, recording the data will help for the future references in order for any conflicts or like in order to like just go for the statistics for whatever the kind of things we have done. So for that particular reason, I used Google Firebase to just store all the activities which I have did through my Python code. Now, let me just recap to what extent we covered till now. And I'm running my code again. Let me show you a demo. And now it's asking again for what should I look for. So this time, I do ask my code to search for tweets regarding to TCS, and it's asking me how many tweets to consider. So this time, let me tell my code to consider 5 tweets. So now it's searching for the 5 most recent tweets, and here they are. So a very positive one, as expected. So with the very first one is also a positive tweet, which was posted by Adrian Bold, and here is the tweet. This is one, which one is regarding to the TCS, and this one was posted at February 12th. So this is the very recent one, and our sentiment analyzer has been considered this as a positive tweet based upon the compound value, and the next one was a neutral tweet and followed by another neutral tweet, another neutral one, and another neutral one. So completely total neutral tweets are as 4, and the total positive tweets are 1. So this time I don't want my Twitter to send replies. for all these Twitter users because I don't want to send anonymous tweets from now. So I just stop my code to here. So that's it. If I do ask my Twitter to send replies, so what will be do is it will be sending the replies, and the corresponding reply data will be stored in the Firebase. I'm eagerly waiting to show you some of the craziest tweets that have been posted ever by using my Python algorithm, which has been coded for this contest, or just here. So this one was the which recently has been tweeted, and here is the other one which has been posted for TCS official page, official Twitter page. So the for the recent one, which they have been posted regarding to their Masters of Risk in Cybersecurity and Sustainability categories. So has been replied this particular message by using my Python code, and also the same thing I did for Ratan Tata sir. So, so this was a recent concern which Ratan Tata sir has been posted. So for that particular one, also has been tweeted a reply in my style through the Python algorithm which has been built. Also, I think I'm the first person to introduce TCS INFRAMINDS hashtag to the Twitter. So, in the post which has been tweeted as a reply for TCS recent post. Also, in order to meet the requirement as prescribed in the contest guidelines, in order to create UI for the project, I used an inbuilt library which is provided by Python. That is nothing but Tincter library in order to create a UI for the project, and also use matplotlib library which can help us to the amount of visualize the what type of the all kind of positives and negative tweets, and how many positive tweets and what was the pulse of the customers regarding to a kind of product, or like a regarding to their opinions regarding to the company. And this time I used text blob library for analyzing the sentiments. Why? Because I just wanted to know the difference between text blob and sentiment analysis. So for the previous code I used sentiment analysis, and for this time I used text blob in order to find out the sentiments. So now let me show you a demonstration by running the code. So now I'm running the code, and here it generated the UI file. So the thing which we here we're gonna do is the same like as I explained in the previous code, but here we are doing this in a user interface. uh, Now this is the Ratan Tata sir's Twitter ID, user ID, and now I'm gonna get the analysis of Ratan Tata sir Twitter account. I mean, how the people are gonna be reacting, what are their sentiments regarding to Ratan Tata sir. So now here we got the output. It actually take around 20 seconds. Why? Because it has to search through the Twitter and each and every tweet, and so that's why it take that much long time. And here we go. So the people's pulse on Ratan Tata sir through Twitter was almost 62.3% of people pulse is being positive, and negative is just 9.6%, and the remaining 28.1% was neutral. So here we got the output on the user interface. Also at the same time, in order to visualize the output, I used matplotlib library of Python, inbuilt library provided by Python, to generate the visualization of the trends from Twitter. And so this is how it gonna be. In the previous code I just made everything on the console. So in order to make the code much simpler, so for regarding to the UI part, I generated another code. I created another code, and so here the difference is, in the previous code, I in in the runtime I asked my code to consider how many tweets, but here by default I'm giving a count to consider 500 tweets. That means 500 recent tweets. My code will automatically do consider. So here it is, the user interface for the output and also the visualization of the output through matplotlib library. Now here is my third project. So in order to reach the maximum requirement given in the problem statements, on the problem in the use case of enterprise AI. So in order also to analyze the audio feedbacks of the customers, so this code is regarding to that part. So why? Because as audio calls do play a main role in the clients, while dealing clients. So in order to, by keeping that aspect in mind, so this code has been written by me, and here I have used a speech recognition, which is a state of art technology which is provided by Google, and also again the weather sentiment, as I used with in the very first project. So in order to analyze the sentiment of the feedback given by the client through an audio tape. So the whole skeleton of this was, so by using the speech recognition library, so what I do was, I do convert the audio file into text format. So after the text format is been available, so by using weather sentiment analysis, I do analyze the sentiment intensity of that particular audio tape, and then based upon the intensity of that sentiment, whether if the compound value is based upon the compound values, I do send a reply. I do generate a reply randomly, within a given set of messages. That means if the statement was positive, some set of messages regarding to the positive feedback will be generated as the output, and if the compound value is stated to be as negative statement, then some set of output messages will be generated in the console. So this is the whole working of the project. So now let me show you a demo. So for this, here I have used an audio file of which I has already recorded through my microphone. Once before showing the output, once let me play the audio file so that you can easily understand. And here it is. Hi, I'm Tony from New York. And this call is regarding to the project which you have submitted yesterday, and the code has been throwing some errors. Also, there are some issues regarding to the file management system. I was not satisfied with the project. Once again, I want you to resubmit the project. Yes, okay. I know that's not a great voice, but still, uh, now let me run the code. So since it has to use speech recognition library, so it do take some time. So why? Because it has to go through again Google voice recognition API, and then it has to generate the output. So for that case, it do take some time to generate the output. Finally, here we got the output. It took almost 1.5 minute. So as I said, why? Because it has to call the Google's API for speech recognition, and after getting that, after converting the audio file into text, again it has to perform sentiment analysis through weather sentiment library. So in order for that purpose, it took that much long time. So anyhow, here we got the output. This one was the text which was got from the audio file, and here is the sentiment analysis of the text, and it's finally saying that based upon the compound value, the statement is negative statement. Okay. Once let us just compare the audio tape and also the text produced by the Google, whether it is right or wrong. uh, Give me a second. Okay.
Hi, I'm Tony from New York. And this call is regarding to the project which you have submitted yesterday, and the code has been throwing some errors. Also, there are some issues regarding to the file management system. I was not satisfied with the project. Once again, I want you to resubmit the project.
Yes, that was the audio file. If you make a look there are some minor issues submitted is Saturday, like some grammatical mistakes. Why? Because of the voice modulations, as since the voice has been not clear, so it generated some grammatical mistakes. But finally, ultimately, the sentiment of the statement has been given exactly. That means the weather sentiment analysis has been declared. The text in the audio file is an Hey there, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been a great learning journey of 2 months, and I hope that was an impressive presentation. And also, I'm eagerly going to join hands with delegates of TCS in order to bring my thoughts into reality. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.